Okay, well this is the pot area. So I'll just, most of them are going to be the same kind of plants that everybody in Tennessee grows in their pots, I'm sure. Little diascia. I think the other little tiny pink is a baby's breath of some kind with some coleus struggling along to survive in there. Some peonies. This is my pot of carnivorous plants, and this pitcher plant is actually blooming. It's kind of the coolest bloom, isn't it? Really unusual. It was a pleasant surprise this year to find these little sundews had come up. They must have been in the pots. The seeds of them must have been in the pots when I bought the pitcher plants long ago. Whoops, that's way, way out of focus. There you go. So they're just planted in peat moss and sphagnum moss. It's actually living sphagnum moss right on the top there. Here's one of the cement things that I worked on a few years ago. It's out of place. It needs to be moved back over into another garden, but I can't lift it. I have to have my husband do it. It was fortunately spared during the winter storm. When we lost the birch tree, it could easily have come down on this bird bath, and it didn't, so I was really pleased with that. Another pot. This pot used to have a big red banana in it, and it doesn't anymore because I had to bring it inside and it didn't like it. So I don't know what I'll do, if I'll do anything with that pot. This is one of my other leaves that I did. Carolyn loves these leaves. I love these leaves. The succulents apparently love these leaves. So it's one of my little succulent gardens. I try to grow them because I like to pretend that I live someplace warm. But it's a big pretend, I'll tell you. So this is an epiphyllum, and this is the first year that it's bloomed. And I like the color. I think I got it as a cutting from somebody. I've had it for several years and it grows, but this is its first year blooming, so maybe next year it'll bloom even better. And when we have another epiphyllum over here, and the funny story about these epiphyllums, this one I got from a good friend, and she had had it growing by her front door for many years. And so probably about 22 years ago, it was before Andrew was born, she gave me a cutting. And it grew, and just grew beautifully, and I had it in the house, and one day the kids were squirreling around, and how kids do, and they knocked the pot over and broke it. So I had them take it out to the greenhouse, and it just sat there in the greenhouse all year. And I just kept, I'd throw water on it occasionally, but I just kind of ignored it, and I thought, I'll get to it. And the next spring, it started putting out buds. And I thought, what the heck is that? And it burst into these absolutely beautiful fuchsia-colored blooms. And then I just started researching it, and I found that the reason it had never bloomed is because it needs to have cold nights. And in the greenhouse, it was given the conditions of cold nights. So that was pretty cool. This is I'm experimenting with putting ferns in pots because they look pretty and I don't have to do anything to them over the winter. Little Kupfia, bat-faced Kupfia. I love this little plant. Look at here's his little face. Yeah. It does look like a little bat. This is supposedly an Easter cactus, but this is the time of year it blooms for me. Probably because I didn't heat the greenhouse at all this year. Another one of the leaves. Usually I will go in every year and work with these little succulent beds, and this year I didn't do it. I just let them do what they're going to do and called it good. So those are the pots. I don't have very many pots this year compared to how much I usually have. So here's the view from here. I'll show you this popped open since I filmed the last one. Glorious, beautiful color on that rose. I'm almost positive that's Pat Austin. And Glamis Castle back there is about to pop. This is more of those Cape fuchsias. This one's called Moonraker. And again, yeah. Ordinarily I don't get any blooms until September on those.